Man, hell of a match. Even just seeing the clips of it, it's man, the chemistry between the two of you guys, and just kind of the overall ambiance. I know everybody tends to talk about Warrior and Hogan whenever they talk about WrestleMania 6, but dude, that match it's got to be one of the all-time greats in WrestleMania history.
I would think so.
I don't know why they talk about Hogan and Warrior. Neither one of them can really work. Hulkster's I mean, I say he can't really work. I mean, he's not like he could work his gimmick. He knew what that gimmick was, and he did it very well. But like Hulkster's not guy, and again, he's not the kind of guy who should be doing arm drags and takeovers and some of the stuff that Jake and I do in a match. But yeah, I'm just teasing. But yeah.
Ted, I know you've said it's your favorite WrestleMania match of all time, right?
Yeah, it was.
Easy to see why. And Jake, I know you've got a hard out here in a few minutes, but before we go, we mentioned Warrior. So Warrior is on the rise here, and obviously he's going to become the champion there in WWE. I know that you guys would both have some issues with him down the road, but up until this point, I've heard people say like, yeah, he was a great guy until he won the championship. Not necessarily about Warrior, but about anybody. Did you guys get along with him at all leading up to the whole thing, or was it always just like
nope.
So he wasn't even a great guy before he reached the pinnacle.
He was never a great guy. I mean, he was a selfish SOB. He didn't care about anybody but himself. And it's like, the unwritten thing in wrestling is, I was always taught, in the course of a match, some things can go wrong or somebody slips. Always try to protect the other guy.
That's the number one rule.
Always try to protect your opponent. And if he's doing the same thing, everything is going to work out. The Warrior didn't give a crap about anybody, and he didn't care if he hurt you.
No, he didn't.
And just there's not. I can't think of anybody else. I mean, there's other people that I didn't like so much or whatever, but that is the only guy that hands down was just I can't even find a word for it.
Don't need one.
Well, yeah, and I mean what you're saying has certainly been corroborated by enough people now that I think the listeners or fans of wrestling know by this point. Like, man, it's just maybe not a great guy. Cool look, I guess you could say it was a good performer in that he drew a crowd. But man, aside from that, there was just nothing under the hood.
Well, I mean,
once you've seen him, you've seen him.
Yeah, he did the same thing every night, and that was the other thing. I didn't understand. I really didn't understand how. Well, I think I understand now how Vince would, make that guy his champion. Of course, I mean Vince has always been kind of, he likes the guys with the big bodies and look at the just came out for Muscle and Fitness magazine look, but this guy had nothing else. But maybe it's just what Vince's ego.
Yeah,
I'm going to watch me make something out of this guy.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Watch me make chicken soup out of chicken shit.